We didn't want to make this video about eBay, but I think it's time. Why sellers are leaving eBay and why people are failing at reselling. We're going to get into it and let you know what we think is actually going on. We are the Resell Brothers, aka the seven-figure sellers, Tony and Christian, and we are going to jump right into this video. Reason one, why people are leaving eBay and what's going on with it. So let's jump in. All right, guys. So the problem and what is really happening. Some people are burned out. Some people just can't hang. They can't keep up with the reselling grind, which it definitely can be a handful if you're not used to working for yourself. Reselling is for sure a grind. So before you pull your store up, quit, throw in the towel, watch this video because we're going to break down exactly what's happening. The number one thing that a lot of people don't like about just selling online in general are fees. eBay does charge a pretty decent percent. I mean, it's not crazy high, just the base percentage. But then there's the promoted listing fee. There's all the, they want you to do pay-per-click stuff on Google and do all that stuff now. The shipping prices are going up, everything. There's a lot of stuff going on that just initial cost to even sell on eBay. And along with that, to think about how much you have to pay to get inventory. The margins are getting slimmer and slimmer, so the option to just sell a few things and make a couple $100 aren't necessarily there in a lot of categories now, especially clothing like us. So that is a reason that a lot of people are bouncing out. And people ask what we promote at. We have a variable rate. We normally promote between
8 and 10%.
8 and 10%. At the very least, if it's an item that's super desirable, maybe we'll promote at 6% or not at all. But for the most part, like you said, 8 to 10%. We'll pause real quick to say like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It really helps a lot. You guys are amazing. We have way more followers and subscribers than we ever thought we would, but even more would be better. So we appreciate it. Always a little more.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Now let's get back into the video. Another
thing that makes reselling hard is the buyers versus the sellers. Sometimes it feels like it's you versus the buyer. Buyers will have returns and they'll put the return reason for something that is completely irrelevant. It's not like they'll say the item is not as described just because they don't want to have to pay return shipping when really everything was described properly, and you kind of just have to eat that kind of stuff. It's one of the things that kind of burns people out with reselling. They're tired of the buyers abusing them and basically just lying to get what they want. So that's one of the reasons that people can get frustrated and quit reselling. But hopefully you're not getting that happen. You're not having that happen to you all the time, and it's few and far between. But it is definitely one of the pitfalls of reselling is the buyer versus sellers mentality.
But so with us, that has a smaller impact because we sell so many items.
Right.
Smaller sellers that don't sell a ton. If you have one thing, it can really affect your metrics. If you have one issue come up, and I mean, it sometimes can take multiple weeks, if not months, to have the issue correct itself naturally without any intervention through eBay. So it can be frustrating for smaller sellers than somebody like us.
And it also depends on what you sell. So if you sell really expensive vintage t-shirts, for example, and say your t-shirt costs $500 and then you have a buyer send you back a t-shirt that is the exact same t-shirt, but it's obviously one that they had lying around that they just swapped it out with. There's no serial number. There's no way for you to prove that that's not your t-shirt that you sent. So you can just get scammed that way. And I use that example because I actually have another reselling friend that happened to. The buyer just swapped out the t-shirt and he's like, look, I know this is not the t-shirt I sent you. And eBay, they sided with the buyer. They said basically you have no way to prove that's not the t-shirt because it is the exact same t-shirt. And you know what? He was out $500. So what you sell is definitely a huge factor when it comes to the buyer versus seller mentality.
There's also Veros and companies coming after you now as well. We've had companies contact us about used items saying that stuff is inauthentic. And I mean, if you buy stuff at thrift stores, there's really no way, and it's used as well, there's really no way you can prove that it is authentic. You bought it from a store that they are allowed to actually sell that item.
That's a whole nother reason in itself. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very difficult to. So that's where that's not necessarily buyers versus sellers, but it's sellers versus eBay in that aspect, because sometimes it feels like eBay doesn't have your back in that aspect. So because a brand can literally just call you out for saying something's fake.
Yeah, and the burden of proof is
yeah,
on you.
there's
They don't have to have any evidence that the item you have is fake. They just say, yeah, we don't want them selling this. It's not authentic.
Well, and for AI, they are using AI to scrub photos and scrub listings and do that stuff now. So it's you have to be very careful about what you buy. And luckily, we have touched and felt so many pieces of clothing and know what authentic stuff looks like in the mall brand kind of basic niche that we're in. We sell some higher end stuff, but for the most part, we are bread and butter. So that stuff is not faked as often, but and also you can kind of get a feel for what that stuff, like I said, looks like, feels like, and kind of spot the fakes when they're out there. So another reason,
Reselling.
I would say 4 now, but I feel like I kind of did 2 or 3 in the last one. There's a lot more selling platforms. I mean, if you look at the early 2000s, it was basically eBay. I mean, Amazon was starting, but for the most part, it was pretty much eBay. Maybe a few others that didn't really catch steam. But there's like Whatnot, obviously coming up strong. Macari, I feel like it's kind of dying off a tad, but still there. Poshmark, Depop, TikTok shops, that Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of other places to sell your stuff. So eBay is not necessary. I think eBay is still top dog. We still sell way more stuff on eBay.
But people have more options.
But there are more options out there for other people to go and buy stuff. So not necessarily being an eBay only seller, I think you can still make it, but it is more difficult.
Some of the pitfalls of reselling in general, just why people fail at reselling, what is holding people back.
That's not necessarily eBay's fault, but just sellers.
Generally speaking, being a third-party seller online, one of the things that can really hurt people is not being consistent, not listing every day, not maintaining the quality of your listings, basically just not being diligent and not making sure that you're doing as much as you can every single day to grow your business.
Yeah, try to cheat the system sometimes and not pay to play, not promote your listings, not do stuff. Obviously, if you're selling all amazing things that don't need promoting, that's great for you, but that just doesn't seem to be the case for most of the successful sellers.
And bad sourcing will kill you. I mean, where the wrong items equals no profit at all. You can buy 1,000 Gap women's extra small t-shirts and pay 1 cent for them, and they're just never going to sell, and there is no reason to buy that. So if you're buying the wrong inventory, whatever you sell, whether it's electronics, whether it's clothing, whether it's collectibles, trading cards, whatever it is, if you have the wrong items, you're never going to be successful because you're not buying the right stuff.
What do you got against Gap?
I don't know.
There are other things that they have low quality photos. They have, on addition to the low quality photos, they do stuff like don't take measurements, don't fill, kind of where people have to ask them a lot of questions, and then you're not going to answer all those questions because nobody buys it anyway after they ask the questions. So then you're not responding to people when they ask you. So there's a whole bunch of different reasons. You're not sending out offers. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can do as sellers to make your business better that are kind of monotonous and just need to be done every day. That if you're not treating your business like if you're not trying to be an employee of the business where you have to work hard to make yourself more money, then you're not gonna see the success of that fruit. So
the fruit of that success, you mean?
Yeah, the fruit of that success.
Success of that.
The success of that sowing. Sorry.
And the final thing, not having a process, whatever your process is, whether it's our process, whether it's somebody else's process, not having a process to where A, B, C, D, you know what you're doing every single day, you know what needs to be done, and you know what you need to do to grow your business. If you don't have a process, you're going to eventually burn out and you're going to eventually quit because for some reason, when you're not organized and when you're not hitting goals that you have set for yourself, it just seems way worse. And just mentally speaking, it's a lot harder on you mentally, and it's harder to keep that energy and keep that motivation to continue growing your business. So,
yeah, there are definitely people out there that are like, oh, I'm gonna take
pictures all day today, and then, or take pictures all this week, and then do the listings next week, or do the listings tomorrow, and then won't ship every day, I'll ship every few days, to where, because I don't like shipping, so I'm only going to do it every 3 days instead of doing it every day. When in reality, one, that just makes the third day horrible and you hate it. And if you do it every day, you have a better shot of getting a customer, because one, your shipping's quicker. So there are things that seem like a good idea because it feels good in the moment, but having a process and doing the same things over every day will make you faster, and will make everything go smoother, and you'll make more money. So you won't, maybe it might get repetitive in that aspect of a burnout, but you're going to see better results, so you'll get more excited about better results.
Another reason that selling on eBay, we've talked about people moving to other platforms, but it seems to me like even selling on eBay, the margins have came down to the point to where people are jumping more towards live selling. Now, I'm not saying everybody is live selling now, so don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that. But a lot of people, I'd say a slim majority, not majority, slim minority, have switched to live selling, things like whatnot, things like TikTok live streaming. And they're selling stuff, maybe they're making a couple dollars on it, but they're selling it instantly, and they're not having to take the photos, create the listings, and do all that grunt work. So it is one of the reasons that eBay is hurting a little bit, is because even eBay has live selling. People don't want to take the time to make the listings. We're in this instant reward society where people want to just have the item, boom, sell it, make a couple bucks, and move on to the next item. And they don't want to, like us, have a ton of money and thousands and thousands of dollars in inventory sitting. They'd rather just turn their money over quickly, which there's nothing wrong with that. But it is a reason that you'll see videos on YouTube of people saying, I quit reselling on eBay. Now they're full-time whatnot resellers. You got obviously the main guy, Daily Refinement, who did that. I think he was kicked off eBay, so a little different there. But there are a lot of people who just quit eBay and now they're doing live selling, which there's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't like doing live selling and you don't like being in front of the camera, you're definitely going to have to maybe make a little bit of a mental adjustment and say, maybe I'm not going to make $20 on this item. Maybe I'll make $10 and I'll move it quickly, but I'll still make a pretty decent profit.
That being said, the whole list it and forget it method, it still does work. We sell a lot of stuff that is old inventory, new inventory every day. So if you have the capital, some people don't have the capital to be able to sit there and hold their listings for a long time, which is where whatnot comes into play. You can list it and get your money right away. eBay is not necessarily doing that, but eBay has so much more traffic. eBay has,
what's that other one? Dipbit?
Oh, Dibdit, yeah.
No, whatever. We did a video on somebody and we said they sold on whatnot when they sold on whatever that other thing is.
Dibdit. It's their own, basically it's their own whatnot. It's their own live selling program.
Whatever. They're like, we can do whatnot.
But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the traffic eBay gets. I mean, they have over 1 billion people visit their website every month. So I believe whatnot was in the low millions, maybe, or something to that effect. We did a video about it one time.
Like
it's a fraction. It's a fraction of the traffic. So eBay still has the customer base, and they still have all that out there. But it's sometimes can seem a little scarier, a little, I don't want to have my money tied up in a lot of this stuff for a long period of time. And that's where investing in items that are decent and cheap and having good sourcing comes into play as well.
So. And don't be scared. eBay has 133 million active users. So there's a ton of people on eBay buying stuff. So other sellers leaving, don't think of it as discouraging. Think of it as, hey, I have less competition now. So you can take the positive and the good and the bad with everything. I mean, just because person A quit doesn't mean that you should quit. It just means that selling on eBay wasn't for them. So don't be discouraged when your favorite YouTube reseller quits reselling. It's probably because they're making more money on YouTube than they are reselling. Because reselling is a grind. It is work. It's worth it in the end. For sure.
I think a lot of people get the wrong view of selling on eBay and on any platform, really, through YouTube. A lot of people a lot of the YouTube resellers give you that thought of, wow, this is really easy, this is really cool, we sell a whole bunch of stuff, we find a whole bunch of stuff, and we sell it all, and we make a whole bunch of money. They put kind of rose-colored glasses on, or put lipstick on the pig that is reselling. they give it it's like any social media. They make it seem like it's amazing all the time, 100% of the time, which it's not. It's hard. It's difficult.
And you see a lot of these resellers, just my personal experience, it'll be somebody, say I follow on YouTube and I see they'll post something on Instagram of an item like, oh, this leather jacket sold for $300, and it's not even their listing. It's just some random eBay listing they're finding. So if you see them posting all this stuff thinking, wow, look at these crazy finds, what the heck, I can't find this. Yeah, it's because they're just pulling random eBay solds and showing them to you. Like, I mean, you have to be realistic. You're not gonna find 10 $300 jackets just laying around somewhere for a decent price. I mean, it's just, it's not reality right now.
We've gotten a lot of comments of people like, thank you for showing like the normal, all the sales, the normal everyday things that sell between $10 to $15 or $20 that are our business, because we do find the really cool, amazing stuff. We found the Loro Piana jacket, the wool jacket that sold for $400, but we found one of those in 4 years. Or we found the really cool, amazing stuff that sells for a whole bunch. But I mean, 99% of our sales, which we've done videos about before, are really low, lower tier, kind of smaller sale items. So,
and people will comment. I mean, they'll comment genuinely sounding discouraged because, like, I never find anything like that in my area. Well, yeah, neither do we normally. I mean, if you only show your best stuff because you're presenting to YouTube and you're showing to an audience wanting to brag, not saying we do that, but just generally speaking, a lot of resellers do that. Brag about all these cool finds you have. Yeah, behind every one really cool find, there's 1,000 finds that are making you like 10, $5. So
yeah. So that's where the rose-colored glasses on reselling comes from. It's hard. It's not easy. So it's easy to get discouraged, but having faith in your systems and knowing that it will work as long as I keep continuously doing the right things. It's built up over time. It's not built up in a day. So,
all right, so what's the playbook to win and how to be successful on eBay in 2025? Number one, you have to just accept the fees. Sometimes you have to pay up. Sometimes you have to promote your listings. And if you want to be competitive, especially on eBay, you're going to have to promote your listings. You're going to have to just chew that up, spit it out, accept it. That's how things are. That's how it goes. You have to adjust. So you have to maybe source a little differently and factor that in when you're looking to sell an item on eBay.
You have to pay for the 1.9 billion people that come to their website, or views that they get on their website a month. So you're not going to get that anywhere else. You can start your own store. You can you can go to in-person selling. I mean, you're not going to get that kind of traffic anywhere. So they kind of have the rule of the roost for the fees.
Yeah, and then you have to dial in your systems, make sure your SEO is good, your photos, your description, your listings, whatever you're selling, whether it's clothing, electronics, like we've said, just make sure your listings are giving as much information as possible. And photos, if you don't take anything from this, make sure your photos are good and make sure that first photo is really eye-grabbing and makes people want to click on the actual listing.
The good news is it's easier than ever nowadays with having things like AI that can help you complete the listing, where you're not spending 2 or 3 hours a night trying to figure out how to make this listing really, really good. You can use AI to get most of the listing done and then just kind of tweak it as needed. So it helps it be a lot faster for you to get your listings done.
And
so that's one thing that is improving.
Yeah,
sure.
and we actually used to do it all by hand. Then we hired VAs to do it, and now we
virtual assistants.
Virtual assistants. So basically, people working for us overseas and completing listings for us. Now we actually use AI. We use Nifty.ai. Basically, you upload your photos, and it will make a title and description, fill out all your characteristics, everything you could possibly imagine, and it cross-lists it to eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop. So you get cross-listing, you get all the AI functionality. You don't have to worry about your titles, and it actually does SEO as well with keywords that rank in the search. So, I mean, everything you could possibly imagine, Nifty does, and that's why we switched from our VAs to using the automation and the AI, because we felt that it ranked a lot better, and the titles were actually even better when we used the AI, because it's pulling stuff that maybe somebody overseas is not going to pick up on initially. So,
and if it wasn't better, it was good enough to where we could tweak it, and it wouldn't, and still not take a ton of time, but it was, well, like you said, a lot cheaper, and it was pretty much the same level of easiness. Like, it wasn't hard.
If you sell on eBay, no matter what you sell, I mean, it works with everything. I did like an electronic fuse box the other day, and it pulled everything from that just from the photo. So no matter what you sell, if you're interested in having all those features and having the AI do the title and everything for you, Nifty, we have a code Resell Bros, or the link in the description. You get 15% off, and it supports the channel.
You get a free trial for 7 days too,
and you have a 7-day free trial as well. Supports the channel, and it'll definitely help your business. If you don't like it, cancel. I'm sure you will like it, but if you don't like it, cancel. No big deal.
We have a lot of people saying thank you for Nifty in our comments all the time. So
it's the only thing we promote, and that's why.
It changed the business. So another thing you can do to do what works for you, and to I don't want to say niche down completely, but it does kind of help to sell in more limited quantities, like limited categories. For us, it was men's clothing. Now, there are a lot of things in men's clothing, so we can still have a pretty good variety and finding a lot of things in that category. But there are some people that sell everything, which can definitely perform well. You can definitely do well selling everything. But we found that niching down to a somewhat less broad category, because like I said, there's still a lot in men's clothes. There's ties, there's pants, there's jeans, there's long sleeve shirts, button down shirts, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodie. Like it's infinite, not infinite, but there's a lot still. But it made going through thrift stores quicker. The repetitive process of it was quicker.
All similar sizes, all same packaging, same storage.
We didn't have to worry about it was all stuff doing it over and over again. Shipping was very simple. It's something that's done very quickly, so it's especially once you get doing it over and over and over again. So if it's something that you are passionate about and you're good at doing and you can find a lot of, it helps a lot. Now, like I said, not everything's going to be $1 million sale, but you will find good stuff, especially when you become an expert in that area.
The reality check, the reality of selling online is that eBay, as much as people complain about it, still wins, is still king, is still number one, completely unmatched, nothing even close, other than Amazon. But for used goods, there's no competition. eBay is number one. Sellers who adapt will dominate, will make the most money, and they will end up being the winners in the end. So build your systems, stay consistent, and you will outlast all of these people who are purging eBay. All right, guys. Quick question for you. Are you staying on eBay in 2025, or are you one of those people that have purged and left, gave up on reselling? Drop a comment. Let us know. We're interested to see what you guys think. What you think about eBay, what you think about promoted listings, what you think has helped you in your business, or what you think the pitfalls were in your business and why you quit eBay. So drop a comment, guys. Let us know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to check out Nifty, Resell Bros. Code 15% off, biggest discount anywhere, 7-day free trial, link in description.
Yep. We still love eBay. We still love eBay. We'll probably sell on there in some capacity for a long time in the rest of our life, maybe. So if you think this was us saying that eBay sucks, it doesn't. We love it, and we will continue to use it for a long time. There's still hope. You can still do it. Just keep going, and we're going to be there with you in the next video.